I'm back in my home country to explore one of Italy's best-kept secrets. This, it's stunning Adriatic coast. I'm on a 700-mile journey exploring the extraordinary sights and flavors. Mamma mia!
It's very delicious.
Wonderful.
Of the magnificent east coast of Italy and its beautiful crystal clear waters. From magical Venice in the north to the most southern point of the Adriatic. Welcome to my Italian coastal escape. I am almost 350 miles into my journey south along the entire Adriatic coast. And I've arrived in the agricultural province of Foggia. From here, I'll be catching a ride to the remote islands of Tremiti. They are Italy's only Adriatic archipelago. A secret hideaway, these 5 lush green islands are known as the Pearls of the Adriatic. I have to say, not the usual Italian weather, but it is what it is. My worry is that I need to get on an helicopter right now, so wish me luck. I haven't chartered a private helicopter. This is the twice daily shuttle service for the islanders, and it's costing me just 50 euros.
Sì, lei di dov'è?
Francia.
Francia!
Sì, Costa Azzurra.
Costa Azzurra.
Ibiza,
Okay,
sì.
so the pilot is
Very
a
good.
Frenchman.
Yeah.
First, I'll be exploring the largest island of San Dominio. The flights there should take 20 minutes. But as I'm traveling on one of the few stormy days of the year, it takes a little longer and makes for a bumpy ride. I came here the first time, I must have been about 7, 8 years old, with my mom and dad and my little sister. So this brings a lot of memories in my mind. Monks were the first settlers here back in the Middle Ages. Now it's home to a small community of 300 families. Tremiti became a holiday destination for Italians in the 1940s, and it's still one of our best-kept secrets. Now, there are 2 ways you can come here on the Tremiti Island. You can use an helicopter, which flies 2 times every day, or you can get a ferry. I suggest the ferry. San Dominio is the most populated and greenest of the islands, covered by dense pine forests, surrounded by rocky cliffs falling into turquoise waters. Finally, the sunshine is out. I'm gonna go with my friend Marco here in this little car. Come va? Everything all right? He's gonna take me to see the islands. Oh! Marco's family have lived here since the 18th century and now run one of the hotels. He's taking me to the best vantage point to appreciate these stunning islands.
Il piacere dell'isola, riconoscere il posto, si sta bene d'inverno.
Sì?
Sì, sì.
So in the peak of the summer, it's 400 people on this island. And during the winter, there are more or less 200 people. And obviously my question is, coming from London, is what do you do with 200 people all winter? He said, we live in peace, which I can kind of get it. I like that. San Domino is just 2 miles square, with 1 road, half a dozen hotels, and a tiny harbor. E a livello di ingredienti potete portare un po' di tutto qua, penso.
Ma gli ingredienti, tu devi pensare che già dal tempo dei Benedettini...
This is called the Paradise Island as far as ingredient is concerned, because any fruit and veg you can think of, they grow it. If there is something in particular that they haven't got, there are helicopter and boats who brings all the other ingredients here.
Si di tutto l'arcipelago, siamo sopra i pagliai. Qua
Look
siamo...
at that. Mamma mia.
E che è quell'isola là?
Quella in fondo è San Nicola, dove c'è tutto il centro storico.
Marco points out San Nicola, the only other inhabited island with its imposing fortress. Right in front is Cretaccio, the smallest of the Tremiti Islands.
Capraia.
Quella è Capraia?
Quella è Capraia.
E non c'è nessuno?
Non c'è nessuno, c'è solo il faro.
And to the left is Capraia, named after its wild capers. The fifth island, Pianosa, is further away, closer to Croatia.
I really like that island there. That's called Caprara. I just asked him if they would sell it to me. Straightforward, no.
As a chef, what excites me about San Domino is the abundance of fresh ingredients.
See, here on the Tremiti Island, they grow pretty much whatever they need. They have all the herbs they want, fruit, vegetable, and Marco gave me the access to his back garden, and he actually told me I can pick up whatever I want.
The islands are almost self-sufficient. The volcanic soil is rich in minerals, which makes for fertile growing conditions. And wild fennel like this grows everywhere here.
Now, let me explain something to you about parsley. I often see people using curly parsley. Let me tell you, that is wrong. Flavored-wise, they're useless. They're very woody, pretty much tasteless. If you want to use parsley, and this is going to be perfect for my next recipe, I always suggest to use this flat leaf parsley. This is the real flavor of parsley.
The ingredient that's most abundant here is seafood, bought into the harbor every morning fresh from the Adriatic. So for Marco, I'm cooking fish skewers with my Italian twist on a tartar sauce.
On the Tremiti Island in the middle of the Adriatic. Now, there is only one thing that I wanted to do, barbecue.
I'm cooking with today's catch: barracuda, mackerel, monkfish, prawns, and squid.
Now, skewers, a lot of people, they use those wooden skewers, the one that you soak them and then. I like metal skewers because they're easier. And the thing with metal is that once you put the skewer on the barbecue, because metal attracts a lot of heat, you cook the fish from the inside faster as well. And to make the skewers even tastier, I love to use lemon. The way to do it, I start with the lemon, like that. So that's your starting point. Then I'm gonna put a chunk of barracuda. Then I got a little bit of monkfish, like this. Then I got some mackerel. That's another one that I found this morning. Just fillet mackerel, very good for you, oily fish.
Mackerel is also cheap, but any firm fish will work.
Then press everything together, like this. And the job is done. Now, let me show you a proper Italian marinade. First of all, extra virgin olive oil. Then we go salt. Very important to salt the fish at the beginning. Then I'm gonna use cheeky chili flakes. You could use black pepper if you want. All right, so move the skewers around. I'm worried about the seagulls that they're gonna take my skewers.
Finally, a squeeze of lemon juice.
Here we go. There it is. Now, looking at the barbecue, which is quite hot, now this will take about 6 minutes on each side.
These skewers can also be cooked under a grill.
Now, the first ingredient for the tartar sauce, I'm using mayonnaise. Then I got these little gherkins, chop away. So I'm using about 4 or 5. Then in there, I'm gonna use capers. Everywhere on these islands, you can find capers everywhere. Caper berries and normal capers. Again, chop away. In there, I'm also using finely chopped shallots, okay? That goes on top as well. And I'm gonna pour flat leaf parsley and the fennel we picked up this morning with Marco. Like this. In there, we're gonna put a little bit of lemon juice and a touch of white wine vinegar, just to give natural sharpness. And then some chili flakes, just to give an extra kick. Oh, happy with that?
This sauce is also incredible mixed with new potatoes.
And now, moment of the truth. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. With a squeeze of lemon all over. And finally, a little drizzle extra virgin olive oil. Now this is what I call a barbecue on the beach. Ehi Marco, becca di questa. Eh?
Cosa hai preparato?
Che ne pensi?
Cioè,
Vai.
questo ci si serve, si mangia così.
He wants a knife and a fork.
Buono, buono.
Com'è?
Molto buono, molto buono. Poi anche la salsa.
È piccante, eh? Marco says the sauce is quite spicy. That's the idea!
Oh, the tartar sauce.
È buono, eh?
Buono.
So far, on the Tremiti Island, I'm having the time of my life. Salute.
I'm in the middle of the Adriatic, exploring the largest of the Tremiti Islands, San Domino. 30 years ago, the waters of this unspoiled archipelago became a protected marine reserve.
Buongiorno. Hi, Gino.
Hi, Gino.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
I've
Just
been looking
waiting for
forward to this all morning.
Gaetano and his dive team help monitor and protect the underwater conservation zone. They are taking me to a special spot on the south of the islands.
They told me this is one of the best places in the Adriatic coast
yes,
to come
it
and
is.
snorkeling. Why?
Yes, it is, because you can find several kind of flora, fauna, that's particularly, and you can find only here in Tremiti Island.
So now we are in the middle of the Adriatic. What about pirates? Did you guys have pirates here?
Yeah, they're the Turkish pirates, because this particular island is exactly in the middle of the Adriatic. So
Yeah.
all the people come from Dalmatia coast. If they want to go to Italy coast, they have to stop
They
in
stop here
Tremiti Island.
and then carry on.
Yes, and they pay lots of money and
So we
stuff. to
couldn't
bring-
find gold. We couldn't find a chest of gold.
Yes, of course.
Huh? Oh, definitely colder than I thought it would be. Okay, ready?
There is an incredible variety of fish here, from cow bream to red scorpion fish. But it's the rare coral beds and sea plants that makes these waters unique. The seabed is littered with ancient Roman shipwrecks, and divers come from all over the world to explore this underwater paradise. And I have landed on one of the dozen secret coves that surround this island.
Well, guys, if you like snorkeling and go underwater, definitely I would suggest to come to the Tremiti Island. It's just awesome. Awesome.
After drying off, I'm leaving San Domino to explore the only other Tremiti island which is inhabited, San Nicola. It's just a 5-minute trip across on the shuttle boat, a 100-foot stretch the locals here once swam. San Nicola's Abbey was built by monks in the Middle Ages, and this vast medieval fortress was built to protect it from invasion. These huge gates are the only way into the fortress. It's a steep half-a-mile walk up to the very top.
What's incredible about this island is that for centuries it was used as a prison, from the Roman Empire all the way to Mussolini.
This entire island operated as a prison. For 400 years, everyone from prostitutes to political activists were exiled here. There is still a small village in the middle of the fortress, where some descendants of those prisoners still live.
And after all the walking, this is the prize, the Abbey of Santa Maria a Mare. Bellissimo.
Built in the 11th century, the crumbling abbey still serves as the church for the tiny community that lives here. Father Massimo is the priest.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno,
Padre
benvenuto
Massimo, grazie.
in questa isola magica.
Grazie, bellissimo.
C'è un clima magico, silenzio,
È stupendo.
silenzio totale.
You know, that's one thing that Father Massimo said, which I spotted straight away, is the silence around here. Ma durante l'inverno, quante persone vivono su quest'isola?
Allora, qua siamo 30 persone al massimo in tutto l'inverno, qualche volta siamo 10 persone.
No. The interesting thing is that on this island, especially at winter time, they only have between 10 and 25 people living on the whole islands. And I was asking Father Massimo, but how can you live, such a small community? And he was explaining that it's like a big family.
E la cosa bella che ti devi accontentare. Si impara ad accontentarsi di tutto, non c'è niente.
He said the most important thing that you realize when you live on an island like this is that really humans, we don't need as much as we think we need. We don't need phones and internet and all the things that they bombarding us to buy and do it. And I think it's a brilliant way of living. I don't know if I could live like that, I have to say, but I admire someone who lives like that.
Behind the abbey is a derelict monastery, and beyond that, a spectacular view of the islands.
I can't believe it that they used to send the people here as a punishment. This is just paradise.
Before I leave these magical islands, I'm going to use one of the herbs that grows wild everywhere here, rosmarino, in a traditional Italian steak dinner.
I'm gonna show you how to make a tagliata, which is a beautiful ribeye steak, thinly sliced. We're gonna serve it on rocket leaves with balsamic glaze. Then I'm gonna do a salad with a bit of radicchio, walnut, pears, a touch of gorgonzola. Now, let me show you my favorite cut of meat, the ribeye, okay? There is a lot of fat. Can you see all these veins of fat into the meat? Well, these veins of fat will melt as you cook it. And this is gonna be tender, plenty of flavor. Guys, ribeye, if you like a steak, is the cut of meat you want to use. Now, often people, they make the mistake, they get the oil and they put the oil straight on the griddle pan. That is not the way to do it. The way to do is this. You put a touch of oil on the steak and just rub the oil all over the steak on both sides. So hot griddle pan, listen to the sexy sound of a steak on a grill. I've just picked up a lot of rosemary that is on the islands, and I'm going to prepare a bed because it's very important to rest the steak before you start to cut it. And what's gonna happen, once you put the steak on there, the heat of the steak is gonna absorb all the flavor of the rosemary. So this is gonna be my resting bed for the steak. Now, the other things that you're gonna have to remember, and this I have to say is a man problem. What a man tends to do is this. Then he moves again. Then from left goes to right, then from right goes to left, and then from the top, from the bottom. The more you move the steak, the more moisture you're going to lose, the tougher the steak is going to be. But now have a look at the color. Look at that. That tells you that the steak is cooked from on one side to perfection. Nice and crispy, okay?
Cook for around 4 minutes on each side for medium.
Pick up your steak, straight onto the bed of rosemary. Now, you can imagine what's happening here. The hot steak is gonna absorb all the flavor of the fresh rosemary.
While the steak rests, lightly grill some sliced pear and cherry tomatoes.
By the time that I cut the steak, it should be all done. Now, the way I like to serve it, like a proper tagliata, get yourself a nice long tray, rocket leaves on the bottom. On one side, I got some beautiful radicchio here, which I'm just gonna slice. So this I'm gonna put on this side. Then for the steak, you just lift it up. See all the juices, they're all gone on the bottom there. And now is the time to cut it. So I'm gonna start this side first. See, the good thing by making tagliata is that you can actually use 2 steaks to serve for 3 people. So it saves you money as well. Pick up the steak, tagliata. One I'm gonna put it here. Oh, look at that.
Add salt, then a touch of olive oil and some Parmesan shavings.
So very important to put balsamic glaze because this gives natural sweetness to the steak. Then we got our beautiful pears. Like this.
Crumble over gorgonzola cheese, crushed walnuts, and finally, the grilled tomatoes.
See, what I don't understand, who says that a steak and salad has to be boring? Look at that. One thing about this island, it really takes away all the stress from you. So if you want a super relaxing holiday, Tremiti Island is the place to be. Salute.
Cantare, oh, 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 nel blu dipinto di blu.